friends, I welcome you all on my channel, The Opinion Platform. Yesterday, Modi government has notified Citizenship Amendment Act. People are afraid it is being popularized that Muslims will be cornered after the implementation of Citizenship Amendment Act. Whereas the opposition leaders have criticized this act of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the Modi government, that it has been done. CAA has been passed, notified, keeping in mind the politics of polarization by Narendra Modi, because Lok Sabha election 2024 is approaching and Prime Minister Modi is not very confident to speak on the development issues with the people. So opposition leaders have openly said that since Prime Minister Modi wanted to speak something and do the polarization politics, the benefit of which they have already taken, they have always taken, or the BJP politics is centered around that polarization politics, CAA has been brought. Whereas what is the impact, what impact is going to be on the people, we'll try to understand from Dr. Abhay Kumar, who is a very senior journalist. Abhayji, I welcome you on my channel. Can you please shed light that CAA, this act has been passed? Do you think who should be afraid? Should Muslims be especially afraid of this? Should they be afraid more because it is anti-Muslim, or it will hamper, it will harm other communities, or it will be in the favor of the people of this country? How do you see CAA?
Thank you very much, Dharmaraj ji. I agree with you that this notification, CAA notification, is very much linked to the upcoming 2024 general elections. Elections are going to take place within a couple of months, and I think the political parties have already declared the names of the candidates. Many names are already out. So you could understand that this is the festival, electoral festival, where people are going to participate, and any issue which is brought just days before election is very much political act, because the BJP or the central government, Modi-led central government, are very much willing to make this issue an electoral agenda. So why the government has done it, why the government has brought this notification of the CAA law, which was passed 4 or 5 years back in 2019, and large number of people came out to streets and they protested against CAA. I think the main issue is that, as you have also mentioned in your introduction, that the BJP government is not sure that it is coming back to power. It has managed media, it is very much influencing the discourse, and the impression is being created that this time BJP is going to win 400 plus seats. Now, Dharmaraj ji, you just think for a while. If a party is very much certain that it is going to get 400 seats, that is something 130 plus more than the majority is required. That party would not bring any controversial issue at the time of election. It is bringing this issue because it believes that if CAA issue is brought, then it will be able to provoke a section of the Muslims community, and then Muslims community will come out and they will oppose it, and after that it will be able to create Hindu-Muslims polarization. But this is not the real issue. The real issue is much bigger. The first thing I would like to highlight here, underscore during the discussion with you, that Citizenship Amendment Act, Nagrikta Kanun, it has nothing to do with Muslim exclusively. It has to do with citizens of India. Everybody in this country who is living, it is going to affect their life negatively, not positively. But it is the conspiracy of media, it is the clever tactics of the BJP that it has always presented CAA as if that Muslims are against Citizenship Amendment Act and all the rest Hindus are for Citizenship Amendment Act. The impression is created that Muslim is against development, Muslim is against rule of the law, Muslim is against the national security. On the other hand, Hindus are very loyal, very deshbhakt, they are patriotic, they are law abiding, and they support government progressive policies. This is the impression is created. And the BJP, just days and weeks before the election, it wants that the same kind of narrative is again repeated and polarization could be done so that it could get the majority of the vote and the Modi ji government can come back again for the third time. But I teach political science and I have to deal with the concept of a state, and I am teaching a paper where we have to discuss a state and the questions of security. And when I look at Citizenship Amendment Act, I think whatever I am teaching in the class and whatever I am reading related to a state and citizenship and security, they come together. Then you would be asking, sir, is it not very difficult thing? No, it is not very difficult thing. The first assumption, the first point which I am trying to highlight is, which I am trying to underscore is that please remember, Citizenship Amendment Act is nothing to do with, is not related to Muslim exclusively. It is going to affect everybody. I'll give you one example. If you go to bank, then have you ever seen that your bank account is not functioning? And you go to bank and you ask the person concerned, sir, my bank account is not functioning, I am not able to do transaction. And then the person sitting in the bank would say you that, sir, your KYC is not done. Then you will ask, what is this KYC? KYC means know your customer. So know your customer, that means आप अपने customer को जान लीजिए. You should identify your customer, okay? And then Citizenship Amendment Act is also something like know your customer, in a sense that you have to keep in mind the historical root of this Citizenship Amendment Act. When Citizenship Amendment Act came, Citizenship Amendment came after NRC, National Register, okay?
National Register for Citizens.
National Registers for Citizenship. So you link National Register for Citizenship and know your customer. Do you see some linkage that everywhere the bank and the state is very much concerned about knowing the citizen, knowing the customer? So why you are knowing all the time? Okay, are you alien? Are you anti-national? Are you criminal? Why do you want to know it? If you are in your family, you don't want to know your parents, you don't want to know your family members. You only try to know and ask somebody's identity when you suspect somebody to be alien. So the first thing is that NRC, Citizenship Amendment Act, these are all designed to identify the validity of citizenship. Okay, so when the validity of citizenship is identified, then not only Muslims but everybody's identity is in question. And a state in 21st century, political scientists have argued, and it is there in the book, that what has happened, Dharmaraj ji, that in 21st century, in today's time, a state has gone back as far as performing its duty related to welfare of people is concerned. It means that in the sector of health, education, employment, a state is not doing anything. A state has said that I have no role to play, I am neutral, market will decide. But when it comes to security, when it comes to national security, a state is doing everything, and a state has become Leviathan, which political philosopher Thomas Hobbes has said. It has become a monster. It is spending crores and crores, lakhs and lakhs, $1 million money on compiling data, on installing CCTV, on spending budget on police and military, on doing everything. All the time your data is being preserved If you get up early in the morning, your mobile phone is under surveillance, your life is under surveillance. If you are using ATM card, your life is being monitored. If you are using credit card, your life is monitored. If you go to let's say metro station, you are under surveillance. If you go to college, you have to use your identity card. So identity card, identification, it is everywhere. And this is very negative concept. This is very negative mindset, I think. And political scientists has given a concept preemptive state, okay, or preventive state. If you keep in mind preventive steps concept, you will be able to understand why Citizenship Amendment Act or NRC are dangerous. Because preventive means rokna. You want to stop something. I'll give you one example. You will be able to you will feel amused. One of my friends has a habit of taking medicine before he has some
Before
disease.
he gets
Sick. So suppose if you have fever, you can go and take paracetamol. You can get some tablet, okay, because you are sick. But my friends will, if he get to know that somebody has fallen sick, he will take medicine and he will start taking it. So the disease has not come to you, but you are having fear of the disease, and the fear is not the reality. So what is happening? The state is fearful of citizens. A state is fearful of marginalized community. A state is afraid of democratization. On the other hand, if you look at Constitution is talking about rights of individual. Constitution is talking about fundamental rights that cannot be violated by the state. Constitution is talking about justice, that is economic, political and social. Constitution is saying, even the Supreme Court has given the statement that privacy is very important. Privacy is a fundamental part of the fundamental rights. And the Supreme Court has recently said that criticizing the decision of the government cannot be a crime, because peaceful protests are part of democratic setup. Without criticism, without demonstration, democracy cannot survive. So what is happening? That a state, instead of spending money on social sectors, it is misusing public money, your money, my money, in investing in the sector which is doing all the time, I think, surveillance, compiling data. And the state, instead of facilitating and creating better opportunity for the citizens to grow, it is looking at citizen as a threat. So the state is all the time into this paranoid frame of mind, where citizenship, any assertion from the citizenship is seen as a threat. And too much money, you could not understand that the police, the military, the secret agency, the CCTV camera, they are draining the wealth of the country. And I think Citizenship Amendment Act is part of the same mindset, where citizenships are seen as a criminal, as a risk, and all the time a state is identifying you, who you are, and all the time a state is bringing one law or another law, one rule is notified, so that your identity is identified. What if you have no paper? What if you cannot prove yourself? And you have to also keep in mind that proving something is not easy. A large community, a large number of people in this country who are not educated, who do not know the court kachari ka language, they do not know the language of the babus, the language of the administrators of the courts, they will be proven, I think they will be proven criminals. In Adivasis area, generally it is being talked about that CAA is related to Muslim. CAE, or showing the paper, kagaz dikhao, it is very much linked with Adivasi, because Adivasi has been living in their traditional locality without having paper. Those who are asking that show the paper, as a historian I am asking, show me the history of showing the paper. The very practice of having paper is very recent phenomena. It is not 200 years or 100 years back. So before the emergence of identification process, were not human beings living? Human beings and their life is thousands and thousands years old. But the BJP government, the current government, is continuing the colonial policy of looking at citizen as suspect. That is why, through your channel, I want to make an appeal that we must peacefully, constitutionally oppose the very process of treating citizens as criminal, citizens as somebody who has to prove his identity all the time.
Or suspected citizen, you mean?
Yes. And we have to also mobilize public support in a big way, democratically, peacefully, constitutionally, so that government can spend more money on social sector, not on security. So we have to get out of this security paradigm. We have to get out of this security paranoia, and we have to work for brotherhood. We have to work for coexistence, and I think it has nothing to do with Hindu-Muslim question alone.
Thank you very much, Abhay. You have spoken quite interestingly that how there's a misconception being built behind this argument that CAA would, on the one hand, Modi government says that it will give only the rights to the non-Muslim citizens of the India's neighbor countries. But we have seen during 2019 and 2020 that how CAA protest resulted in massive protest and therefore at the end massive violence, resulting into Northeast Delhi riot, which is not anymore a known phenomena to any of us. Well, you have heard Dr. Abhay Kumar that why we must peacefully and constitutionally protest, at least register our protest. We must at least speak against it, discuss about it, and we must be aware of all such policies, anti-people policies, which are being taken by the Modi government. You keep watching my channel. If you like it, subscribe it, like it, and share it. Thank you very much, Abhay ji.
Thank you very much.